Are we on the verge of another trade war? Let's talk about it on the weekly update. Okay, friends, let's talk about the trade war 2.0. Here's what you need to know. First up, Trump and Xi trade barbs over rare earth metals. So let's take a look at the market first, because I think the market is going to show us what a big deal this is. Then let's talk about what's going on. So here's the S&P 500, same way we always look at it. Red is the S&P 500, orange is the 50-day, purple is the 200-day. What do you notice? We're still in an uptrend. Our uptrend is still intact. But you notice that last week we had a very serious collapse happen on Friday. And since then, we've had a little bit of a bounce, but it looks almost like a 50-day test. And this was pretty interesting, coming nearly at all-time highs. I mean, I just got done with the video last week and things were good. We were in the era of good feelings. So what happened that changed things so abruptly? Well, to put it lightly, we sort of got sucker punched by something. And that thing is the draft resolution going through China right now on export controls on rare earth metals. Now, here's a couple things. We're going to talk about how this story is being editorialized. But what I'm going to tell you first is this is just draft resolution. This is not a law. China has not signed this into law. They can back away from this at any point in time. But what they are doing is they're putting on export controls on every aspect of the supply chain related to rare earths. And what this means, why this has caused such a big issue, this is in drones, this is in computers, this is in cars, this is in military vehicles, this is the entire world's supply chain. And these export controls, if they were put into place, would basically cement China's grip around the throat of advanced industry, of all the modern stuff that is our economy. Unsurprisingly, once news of this draft resolution was leaked, a certain somebody had something to say about it. Oh yeah, let's fire up the Truth Social. So here's Donald Trump. It's been learned that China has taken an extraordinarily aggressive position on trade, hostile letter to the world, imposing export controls on virtually everything they make. Affects all countries without exception. It's a moral disgrace, absolutely unheard of in international trade. So you can get the sense that this is going pretty bad right now. Starting November 1st, 2025, the United States of America will impose a tariff of 100% on China over and above any tariff that they are currently paying. Also on November 1st, we will impose export controls on any and all critical software. It's impossible to believe that China would have done this to us. So what do we got? We got another trade war. We got another war of words that is kicking off. And the market was not prepared for this at all. We were in the era of good feelings. We're going to float higher, lockout rally. Everything was good. Everyone was positioned long. And then this just sort of comes out of left field. And all of a sudden we find ourselves in that pseudo Liberation Day sort of moment all over again. Since that tweet, the market has slowly been trying to figure out how much of this is real. Is this just brinksmanship? There have been a number of stories. I'm actually not going to highlight any of these, but just to give you a sense, the rumor mill is flying right now. There's been talk that the South Korean summit later this month, where Trump and Xi are supposed to get together and sign the biggest, greatest trade deal ever known to man, there's rumors that that is off. I don't know if I believe that one just yet. I think that this whole issue is just brinksmanship, but we will see. There was Wall Street Journal this morning said that China is going to target the stock market, the U.S. stock market, to bring pain and, basically break Trump over this rare earths thing. I don't know about that one. This one seems very strongly editorial to me. There's some commentary that Besset is prepared to stabilize markets. That's, Secretary of the Treasury. So what you're getting here is just that we are running away with this narrative. But remember what I said at the beginning. This is just draft legislation. This isn't signed into anything yet. This is not law. This is just prospective law. And to me, it seems like it's a bargaining chip. And I already see signs that this may not be, a real event. This may just be posturing ahead of the South Korean summit. Here's CGTN. This is Chinese news. This is state-owned media company. And if you let them say, what's going on with this rare earths dust up, they'll tell you the whole thing is just a misunderstanding. They'll say, we can manage this through dialogue. We don't need to like go to this level. China's export controls are not export bans, so they're saying that Trump is just misinterpreting what they're doing here. Licenses will be granted for eligible applications. We're going to work with the rest of the world, safeguard the security and stability of the supply chains. So like China is saying, you know, hey, I don't know why you guys are flying off the handle on this one. And that's also somewhat what the market was interacting to. China came out with this draft legislation and we went into the market. The market was, I think the market was barely down anything, if at all. The market said, hey, this is a nothing burger. Then the Trump Truth Social drops, and then the market drops basically 3% from that point in time. And so what the market is queuing off of here is not so much what China did, so much as Trump's reaction to it. So yeah, what this says to me, you know, China oftentimes speaks through their state media. So what China is sort of saying here is like, hey guys, it's not that serious. We're not trying to do what you think we're trying to do. Why don't we talk about it? So what does it all mean, Trade War 2.0? I put this in quotes here to give you the editorialized version. China sucker punches the US with export controls on rare earths. They have not done that. I think if anything, they're just sort of bargaining before the real trade deal in South Korea. Unexpected bad news with the market at all-time highs can be dangerous. Here's one thing I will say though. All throughout this video, you've heard me sort of downplaying the severity of this. However, this is the true risk. Historically, both Trump and China will escalate on each other in these public spats. Trump doesn't like to be bullied. China doesn't like to be bullied. And that's why Liberation Day was as bad as it was, because they both just kind of kept escalating off of each other. My big question in all of this, is this all just gamesmanship before the South Korean summit? I think it is. I don't think there's teeth to it. And I'm queuing off of what state media is already saying. And Scott Besset has been saying very conciliatory things to the market. So I think they're just horse trading. But there you go. That's the news for the week. Trade War 2.0. I'll see you next week for the markets review. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video and give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.